In this video, we're going to walk through the real problems that come up with excavator couplers, what causes them, and how to avoid them. Whether you're looking to buy your first coupler or trying to get more life out of the one you already own, this video is for you. Before your coupler ever ships, there's already ways things can go sideways. Someone calls in for an order and there's a miscommunication about the machine size, the model, or its intended use. And then the wrong coupler shows up. Now, you're gonna wait on a return, a reorder, and you've lost time you didn't have. In this case, the fix is simple, but it's gonna require a little bit of homework on your end. Before you finalize anything, verify your machine specs, know your make and model, and the weight class. Think about your applications. Not just what you're picking up today, but what you might want to pick up 6 months from now or a year. Share all of that with your sales rep. A good sales rep is going to ask those questions anyways, but the more you bring to the conversation, the better. This one usually comes down to vague or incomplete product descriptions. You think you're getting one thing and what shows up is technically correct, but not what you actually needed for the job. The best defense here is to get educated before you buy. Request detailed specs, ask questions, understand what type of coupler is right for your application, whether it be a pin grabber, hydraulic, wedge lock, and what brand is gonna best suit you. Inadequate packaging or rough handling in transit, the next thing you know, your coupler is gonna show up dinged, scratched, or worse. The best thing that you can do is insist upfront that your supplier takes the necessary precautions for shipping. And when it arrives, inspect it before you sign off on anything. Sometimes parts or accessories get missed during packing. Small stuff that's easy to overlook, but critical when you get out on the job site. The move here is to have an inventory checklist ready when you receive your order. Pull up the parts breakdown and compare it to what's in the box. If anything is missing, contact the manufacturer immediately. Don't wait. The sooner you flag it, the sooner it gets resolved. A manufacturing partner with reliable stock and strong customer service is gonna make this process a whole lot smoother than one that's hard to reach or slow to respond. This can come from inaccurate measurements on your end, an incompatible model, or poor quality standards from the manufacturer. Before you ever place an order, verify your measurements and machine compatibility carefully. And once it arrives, do a test fit before you fully commit to an installation. Make sure everything aligns the way it should. Improper installation can cause issues that don't show up immediately. They show up 3 months later when you're in the middle of a job. Get comprehensive installation guides from your manufacturer before you start. If they can't provide that, that tells you something. Welding failures come from poor weld quality or incorrect installation. And this is one of those areas where the manufacturer you choose makes an enormous difference. Now there's a lot of couplers out on the market. If you go with the wrong one, you may be getting welds that would not pass a premium quality standard. Regular inspection goes a long way here. Get your eyes on the welds periodically, and if any welding work needs to be done, make sure you're engaging with skilled professionals. Structural failure in casting typically comes from one or two places, either a poor casting quality from the manufacturer or improper handling out in the field. On the manufacturer's side, you want tight tolerances on your side. Make sure that you're operating within load limits from your manufacturer's recommendations and that your operators are well trained to avoid putting unnecessary strain on your coupler. If you're running high load applications or you're using a hammer, there's a real benefit to a fabricated coupler design over a cast one. The fabricated design manages the load differently in a way that's better suited for those demands. Mechanical damage comes from a few directions: overloading beyond capacity, improper installation or misalignment, poor maintenance, and material defects. There are a few ways to protect yourself here. First, train your operators. They need to know what the machine can and cannot handle. Secondly, follow the maintenance schedule and instructions from your manufacturer. Greasing and preventative part replacement are not optional. Pay attention to the part count. Fewer moving parts mean fewer things that can go wrong. It sounds simple, but it matters. Hydraulic leaks usually trace back to faulty connections or seals. The fix is periodic maintenance checks and making sure that your hydraulic lines are installed correctly from the start. Don't skip your walkarounds. A small leak caught early is a quick fix. The same leak ignored can become a much bigger problem down the line. Low pressure issues that prevent the coupler from engaging correctly can come from a pressure drop. That's going to be a leak somewhere in the system or possibly improper installation. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations on the product manual and always run a gauge test on hydraulic lines at the coupler. We want to confirm that your pressure settings match your intended setting. We have shorts, grounding issues, faulty wiring, switch failures. These usually come from poor installation, wiring that rubs against the boom or stick over time, or age and corrosion. When you're running your wiring down the boom, we want to make sure that it's correct and that it minimizes points where it can rub on the stick or boom as it moves. That friction over time is oftentimes what kills wiring. You want to make sure that you're inspecting regularly for signs of wear or damage, that you're keeping connectors clean, tight, and properly secured. This isn't glamorous work, but it prevents a lot of headaches down the line. Over time, the constant cycle of attaching and detaching tools puts wear and tear on your coupler pins and locking mechanisms. If you're working in an abrasive environment, that process accelerates. Two things here. First, always use proper pins that are designed for your coupler. Using the wrong pins speeds up the wear significantly. You can watch our video on that exact thing right here. Second, this one's an easy one to skip. Wash your coupler when you're washing your machine. Get rid of that dirt and debris that builds up over time. It's going to be one of the simplest things that you can do to extend the life of your attachment. I would encourage you to watch the training videos your manufacturer provides. Take them seriously. And if you've got operators running this equipment, invest in regular training. Not just once, but ongoing equipment changes, best practices evolve, and refreshers keep people sharp and safe. Hands-on practice led by people who fully understand the equipment is worth every penny. Do not use attachments that are excessively heavy for your coupler. It's going to strain your equipment, accelerate wear, and put you at risk for a more serious failure. Know your limits and stay within them. Failing to securely attach tools or buckets is one of the most dangerous things that can happen on a job site. An attachment that comes off during operation is a serious safety event. Check that locking mechanism and that it's in the proper position. Check your indicators and know that this looks different depending on the coupler that you're running. Perform a bump test before anyone is near the bucket or in the danger zone. Run a checklist. Make it a habit, not an afterthought. If you're managing a crew, make secure attachment practices non-negotiable. Train to it, reinforce it, and keep people current as equipment changes. A broken jaw is usually a result of excessive force, long-term wear, improper attachment, or, this one's important, slewing buckets or operating attachments without fully engaging or locking them first. Understand your load limits. Verify fitment every time you switch attachments. Keep up with scheduled maintenance so that you can catch jaw wear or cracking before it becomes a failure. Late deliveries and poor customer service can hurt your operation just as much as a mechanical failure. Before you commit to a manufacturer, check their reputation, read reviews, and talk to other operators. Find out if they keep stock on hand so you're not waiting weeks for a part you need today. So much of what can go wrong with a coupler comes back to who you buy it from. So let me leave you with what you're actually going to look for. I want you to look at their history, read customer feedback, and make sure that they have a credible track record of manufacturing quality attachments. Choose a company that communicates clearly, provides real technical support, and doesn't leave you guessing. If it's hard to get answers before you buy, it'll even be harder after. If you got any questions about any of this or you want to talk through what coupler might be right for your machine and your applications, reach out to us. We're happy to help. And if you want to keep learning, we've got more videos right here on our channel that go deeper on attachments, machines, and getting the most out of your equipment. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.